Hey Flosstube, it's Jen, also known as Quirks and Stitches. It's been a bit, with me it's just plans happen and then they don't, I don't film. I'm hoping that I'll be more consistent, but I say that every single time that I try to do one of these. My mug today is Embrace the Mess because we are in the process of like redoing a lot of things in our house currently. So a lot of rooms are kind of upturned and it's going to be great, but it's a little bit like right now. So we're in the process of doing our bedroom first. So we got a headboard and switched which wall our bed goes on because we have baseboard heat, and this house you can't like zone it. Well, you can, but it's a lot of money, so we're not going to do that right now. And our bed was against the wall that had the baseboard on it, so it got very hot. So we switched the wall, but then we had to buy a new headboard because, well, we didn't have a headboard before, and the wall's a little narrow, so like bedside tables, so we had to get one that has things on it, and then we like painted the closet and are putting a dresser in the closet because I don't really like to hang things up, so it's just like this whole process. So now everything is in my office that was in my bedroom, and just happens. So we're embracing the mess in an attempt to get it to where it is not such a mess. So that'll be happening, but I am way behind in filming. I have been really good about posting on Instagram. I had originally wanted to have a whole like website that was going to go along with everything as well, and that has not happened. It might get caught up, we'll see. But right now I'm sticking to my schedule pretty much. I did have yesterday is the first day that I didn't start one when I planned to. It was because Brandon and I ended up having a nice little date night. So I feel like those are important reasons, and I don't want life to get so caught up in this 222 thing that I'm not going to actually spend time with my husband and do the things that, also make us happy. So I do have a tendency to go all in with things. So, there's allowances. I'm also going to be doing a bunch of traveling. I have 2 work trips coming up. One the beginning the first week in May, and then one in June, the end of June, as well as a couple of like Brandon's doing board game conventions. So I'm going to be doing Gen Con, just hoteling it up, and I think we're going to Origins as well in Columbus. So again, I'll just be hoteling it up, but he'll be there. So I'm trying to figure out like how my 222 plans are going to fit in with life. And I think the best thing that I can do, the thing that's probably going to make me happiest with like picture consistency and things like that, is to not have starts happen when I'm not home. And so I've already looked at like my first week in May, and I think I'm just going to bump everything back so that it's going to start later in the month, so that I can focus on, because I like those like first starting shots with the mug and the, knowing that it's my iron that got the piece nice and crisp, the fabric, and that I'm starting that way. So I think I'm just going to tell me it'll be okay that it doesn't line up with my plans, please, because sometimes I have a hard time letting go to my plan. But it'll work. I'm on start. Today was start 75. So it has been going really well. I'm really enjoying. I think I've finished 17 things this year. I don't know if you'll see any of those finishes. I have a bunch of things to show you today though. I've only filmed a January recap right now so far. Right now it is, what is today? Today's April 16th. Yes, today is April 16th. So I am 2 months behind. So my plan for today is to film my February. March was a start a day for madness, so I am not going to try to talk and get you caught up with all of those in this video as well, because it's just way too much. So I'm going to do that later. Next week, hopefully I'll do it this week at some point though, so that I'm caught up before the marathon. If not, my plan is to do it before I go away. And then we'll probably figure April will either be, if I can snag it before the end of the month. I don't think I probably can, but my last start is scheduled for the 28th, but then I'm going away on the 30th. So I'm getting to go back to Philly though, and I'm so excited. The Head Start conference is in Baltimore this year, so I was able to finagle a seat on that trip and convinced work to let me drive so that I can drive and then take a trip to Philly afterwards. So I haven't been back for like 3 years since we moved. So really excited about that too. I'm going to see some friends, and we got a Airbnb in Phoenixville for a bit, which is where I went to college. So one of my best friend is still out there, so her and I are just gonna hole up in a hotel and pretend it like life was when we used to live together. So that'll be good. And then, like I said, I've got some work trips happening. It's just like insane. It's been very busy. You know, we transitioned after the beginning of the year. We were still working from home, a lot of people. I work in Head Start. I am a quality teaching specialist. So I work with a bunch of teacher coaches, and I help them help teachers with the quality of their curriculum and implementing things like that. And I'm also kind of involved in like the curriculum planning for our programs. So that's what I do for a living. But I worked from home for a bit once we started back, and the past couple of weeks it's been full-time back at the office, which has been a big shift. My office is like 2 minutes from my house, which is amazing. But still, it's a shift when you're used to working from home. So, but my agency is amazing, and they are trying to put forth a 4-day work week model. So it is looking like I'm going to be having Fridays free, at least for this trial run that once you get the taste of a 4-week work week, I don't know how you don't do it. So I'm hoping that it will stay through, but we've got to figure out how to make it work for our teachers and the classrooms and things. So it's going to be a busy few months, but hopefully by this summer when we roll out the plan, it will give some time to breathe and time for self-care. That is a huge passion of mine, is making sure that my teachers and my coaches know to step away and find something that gives them the ability to rebuild themselves. So I'm very, very blessed to work for a company that also feels that way. Sometimes I do this and I'm like, I don't have anything to say. And then I sit and I ramble for forever. And then it's been 20 minutes before you've even seen any cross stitch. I'll show cross stitch soon. I have stuff all around me. So I have all of my February 222 starts. Those of you that may be new, you should probably go back and watch the 222 origin video. But I'm starting 222 projects in celebrating or coping with my 40th birthday, which was February 22nd, 2022. I was born February 22nd, 1982. So I'm starting 222 projects by 82 different designers in 19 different categories to give all of the numbers of my birth year some sort of play. And a little numbers really aren't my thing, and I don't know how I get so tied into them, and I think connections are my thing. So I have those. I also ended up starting a couple that were not plans of my 222. Those are being known as my premature starts. So I was born 9 weeks early, so I'm allowing myself 9 premature 2013, going back 10 years, 2023 starts. So I started 2, I believe, in February as well. So I'll show you those. I have a bunch of things that my mom finished for my birthday that I'm going to show you. And I think that will be enough, and my voice will be ready for a break. And so we're just going to hopefully get through that. So it's been almost 10 minutes. Trying to think if there's any other life things that I need to fill you in with. I got my hair cut finally. I think I found somebody that can cut my hair, knows how to cut short hair. I need to wash it right now, but it's way better than what it was. And she's actually my mom's hairstylist. She's also my grandma's hairstylist. And I was like, that's why I kept like hesitating going, because I was like, I've gone to the same stylist as my mom before, but I've never gone to the same stylist as my mom and my grandma, and I'm not really sure. But I went this week and she did a great job. So I'm very excited to know that I have somebody that understands short hair and the cut that I want. So that's exciting to me. Feels like one more step in making this place home, I guess. So considering we've been in our house for 2 years now. Yay. I still can't believe it. Time goes so fast. It really, really does. Trying out another new kind of stitchy spot. I kept not filming. See, I make a lot of excuses as to why I don't film. I kept not filming because I wanted to have pictures on the wall behind me, but a lot of them are like sitting right beside me because I haven't showed them to you yet, so I didn't want to hang them and then have to take them down. So I don't have anything on my walls at the moment. You get to see my lovely TV screen, and I'm sorry about that, but you know, hopefully you don't mind too much. And I'm gonna stop talking and start showing you some cross stitch. So let me get and because, okay, the other thing, because this is 222, my mom made me all the project bags. So when I'm showing my pieces, I do not store the originals with them right now. Typically I always do, but due to storage and making sure that all my projects are on this wall right now, making sure that everything fits in the system I have back here, I do not have the originals with me, so I will not be showing you those. You will see my working copy picture of the patterns. And also I don't have them taken out of the project bags because my mom made bags specifically to coordinate with all my projects. So I want to show those as well because she's amazing. And yes. Coffee was sipped. We are ready to start. February 2022. Beginning of it, the first of the month is usually my, and each date, like the dates through the month, I have specific things that I'm starting. So when I said I had those 19 categories, not every month has 19 because like February only has 28 days. So there's starts that I do on the 31st that a February wouldn't have. And also like Stitch Madness was a category, but the majority of the categories I tied to dates during the year. So I'm not sure how many starts I had during February. But anyway, so my first start is the monthly marker, and my plan is, I've had a lot of people kind of ask what I'm going to do with these. I took Year at Hawk Run and I'm doing each block as an individual finish. And my goal is that I'll have a dough bowl or something like that somewhere in my house that I can have things that have the names of the month on them. So, you know, like the Prairie Schooler seasons that they have one for each month. You know, the Hands-On Designs, she just released a really cute series, something like that, that then I can have just, these are all February things, and these all say March. We'll see. That's my plan with these. So this is how far I got on the start for February. This is on 36 Count Legacy by Picture This Plus, and I'm doing a conversion with colors. I did really have to play with the colors on this one, especially with the ice and things. So I have a base set of colors that I've pulled, and then I'm going to like tweak it as I need to when I'm going through. So that's what I've gotten done on that one so far. I am tying a lot of these to like my acrostic for the month. I did do the month for the acrostic in February, where my primary piece, I actually did two versions of it. Well, I attempted. I didn't totally complete it. But my primary one that I tied to the 24-hour acrostic was, I shot for 222 minutes. And then my second project that I was tying to it, I shot for 2 hours and 22 minutes. So, I'm trying to get like a decent start on these things, so I'm not going to just feel like I have so much going back forward. So the Year at Hawk Run is being stored in this project bag. I love it, and I have coordinating ones for the floss and things like that. So on the inside, the fabric is the 222 or 2022. So that was start number 1 for February, which was also known as start number 20 for the year. So I had started 19 in January. My next one was the Owl Pincushion by Subrosa. It's this. I am stitching it. This is the bag that it lives in, a little Halloweeny owl bag. I am stitching it on, I believe, 40 Count Legacy with the DMC. I'm also trying, it's not holding true to everything, but when I show these to you, I'm trying to have only worked on them once or twice. So it's legit my start that I'm getting on them. Some of them, like if I don't have a start plan the next day, I may keep it out until my next start happens, but it depends. So like it's been a little hard. I'm like, as I'm looking for things to stitch on days that I haven't got starts planned right now, I'm like, oh, I can only pull from my January starts, because in my head, I don't want to stitch on them again until I've showed them to you. I don't really know why. I really don't understand how my head works most of the time. It's a scary place to be. Okay, so that was start number 2. 21st for 2022. Look at this bag. Look at that fabric. This is my whale start. On the 4th of each month, I do a whale start. And this is Moby Dick by Little Stitcher. We are making our bathroom downstairs whale and nautical themed. So Brandon had gotten me a bunch of like primitive whale stuff, and it's going to be whale themed bathroom. So this is as far as I got on that. I'm using DMC, and I believe this is 36 count vintage country mocha. And this is the project bag that it lives in. Love that fabric so much. Okay, on the next one that I started was my insect or creepy crawly one for the month. So this is Peroi. I don't know how to say names and things, so somebody can tell me. I did some conversion of colors on this, but it's mostly called for, I think. Ignore the stitching in this corner. I tore something out. That's how far I got on him. This is, I believe, a 36 count ale by Picture This Plus. I'm starting to lose my sun. I don't know if I'm going to have to get up and get a, turn another light on. This is the project bag that it lives in. Love that. I love these collage fabrics. See if the sun pops back out. We'll give it a little bit. The next one, which is I do on the 9th of the month because we purchased our house on the 9th of April, is The Village by Kathy Barrick. I have had this one for forever and wanted to stitch it. So it is like this. I am stitching this on 36 count exemplar, and I am using DMC. I really wanted to work on houses, but I couldn't get that far on my start, so worked on the tree. And this is the bag that it lives in. I don't know how I operated before project bags. The next one, this one was on my, oh, I just had it in the wrong one. No, wait. Yeah. The 10th of the month is coffee or tea themed typically. And the reason for the 10 is because if I don't have coffee by 10 a.m., I'm not a person you want to see. I'm doing Delivering the Coffee Beans by Homespun Elegance. And I did pretty much a floss conversion for this one. Some of them, if I had the called for, I did. This is 40 count Christmas in Williamsburg by Under the Sea. That's the start I have on that one. And it lives in this coffee bag. Especially now that I have so many projects going on, like all the time, it's nice to know that like the projects are in something that also makes me smile, because this is part of the whole process, I think, for me. This is my Dark 13 start for February. I'm gonna do this. I'm working on the owl from this pumpkin series by the Prairie Schooler. I am also stitching this on the 40 count Christmas in Williamsburg. So I felt like it really worked well for the background of the pumpkin. I don't know if I'll finish it in a pumpkin or not. We'll see. Who am I kidding? I don't know if my mom will finish this in a pumpkin or not, but we'll see. DMC for that, and it lives in this owl bag. Okay, I did do a start and I got a finish on my Valentine Day start. I did that. It was the Primitive Hair Valentine, which was a freebie. And I used Floss by Almond M&S. And it was a new fabric to me. So it was 40 count Ancient Ruin by X June. And then I used, I'll tell you in a second what the floss is. It is Brick by Almond M&S. MMS. I'm just going to change names of people's things. Sorry. And that was a start and a finish. And it lives in my Sloth Valentine bag. Okay, also a start and finish for the month. I did my animals start, my Fox Woodland Creature. I do on the 15th. This was another one by Little Stitcher. I didn't do the best job of I try not to start multiples by the same designer in the same months if I can, but I failed. Anyway, I was working on the Fox for this one. And this was on 35 count gray by Weeks Dye Works. Again, ignore here. It was used for something else prior to. How cute are these, though? They're adorable. DMC. Perfect bag for winter animals. I'll probably do more from that series eventually. So that gets us what start was that. That was start 28. 29th for my monochromatic start for the month. Ooh, the zipper is not happy. Probably has tagged on something. Floss running through it or something. This is the Companion Quaker, the Christmas Tree Sampler by Carriage House. And I'm using Victorian Motto threads for this, and I am doing it on 40 count Shadow by Picture This Plus. I was hoping for a finish, but I just couldn't do it. Lives in this Christmas tree bag. How my mom did such an amazing job when I gave her my list of projects. She was like, I will find the perfect fabric for each one. It was such a fun day too, setting them all up. On the 20th of the month, I start a project that has to do with pets. And this one, it was Watson's birthday, February 20th, so I wanted to start one for her. So this is Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Squirrels, Dog's Declaration by Ink Circles. And I am stitching this on the called for linen, which is Tyco by Picture This Plus, and I am using the Valdani threads, which I have never used before. They have a different consistency or texture to them, but so far it's working out fine for me. But look at how pretty they are. Aren't they gorgeous? This bag, this fabric, with little dachshunds. Ugh, I love it. Originally, I had a different start planned for my birthday. And so I was kind of like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like it's big enough for like a birthday. It had to be a big one that I'd been like really looking forward to starting. So I switched it up last minute and decided that I would do Ocean Blue Sampler by Kathy Barrick. Yeah, funny story about this one. So Back when we were kitting up all my 222 projects, I wanted to do this on Murky. And we were doing a marathon day, my mom and I, of picking out fabric and cutting it to size and doing that. We had planned to do up through April, and we ended up doing the whole year. So it was like this really long, crazy day. And we were really trying, and like I talk in linen counts and she talks in Ada counts, because when you're doing the math, it's easier to do the math in Ada. But I'm like, I don't sit on Ada, I sit on linen. So it's 20, it's 40, not 20 count. Anyway, so we had a mishap when we cut the linen for the Murky. Because it says that the stitch count on this is 172 wide by 447 high. So I had to repurpose it, had to figure out a different plan. Well, you can't find Murky anywhere. That's why I'd put out that call for Murky. And I was just kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Well, Susan from Fire Poppies, I'm so excited for her, but I'm so sad that they are closing. And that closeout sale, I got gift certificates for my birthday that I had to be like, Mom, use these quick because everything's going. I'm at work and I can't do it. You need to do it. Which is awesome. And I'm so happy for them, but they were doing an amazing shop. It was really cool. Anyway, she recommended Tornado. I don't know. Something. I don't have it written down right now. I think it's the Tornado. I'd gotten something by Seraphim that was a little too blue, so I decided not to use that. And so I did it. This is my style. It's perfect. It's got a very Murky feel. I'm really excited. I think it will look awesome on it. Now, the funny part of the story. I go to stitch it, so we cut the linen, we get it all cut. And those of you that have seen this pattern before, it originally was a sampler. And Kathy reworked it to be, like it was a stocking, and she reworked it to be the sampler. Well, the stitch count that is listed on the back is still for the stocking, because it's making the allowance for the foot of the stocking to go over like this. It's actually half. It only goes to a little over 80 or maybe 85, not the 172. So that original piece of Murky that we cut too small would have been perfect size for it. And so I realized it when I went to start this, and I started it, we cut this bigger. And so I started it in the middle and was like, I have way too much of an allowance. Like, what is happening here? I generally leave like a 2 or 3 inch allowance. And we realized why, and so I moved it over and started it over there. I did change the date to be my birthday, so it does say February 22nd, 2022 on there. And I am using the NPI silks on it, which I don't generally do silks, but I felt like let's splurge. You only turn 40 once. So, pretty colors. Anyway, that's my birthday start in this gorgeous whale bag. I do have a happy birthday bag too, and then I forgot since I switched them. Except with another whale start that I was originally going to do, that I will just do later. So, I'm trying to think. Yeah, my 19 categories, each of the categories has like 12 starts, typically like around 12, depending on, except for Halloween starts on the 31st, it's 12 because it's one per month. I didn't repeat designers within those either. So like, I really tried to be mindful of trying different designers, giving exposure to new designers, different things like that when I'm doing this. So, when I'm doing this, like I start 222 things all the time, but just it's one of the reasons why when I stitch Madness, I do 31 different designers. I try to change it up a little bit. So that was, did I get out of order? I must have missed one. I did. This one was on the 19th. I'm sorry. I went out of order. So this should have been right before Watson's start. The 19th is my bird start. So it's Counting Crows by Not Forgotten Farm. I am stitching this on, I think it's Color and Cotton. It's light brown sugar, 36 count by Color and Cotton. And I'm using the called for DMC. And this is the bag that it lives in. Okay, now we are back up to where we need to be. So the 24th is my quirky, or, you know, yeah, it's like a quirky or a hobby or something like that start. And that one is, this month it is the Quick Brown Fox, the favorite font sampler by Plum Street. I've had this for forever and I can't believe that I hadn't stitched it yet. I always, like, I don't doodle because I can't draw, and so I like to, like, if I'm writing or anything, this is the sentence I write, because I'll either write the alphabet or I will write the sentence and play with my fonts that way. But I'm too linear to draw, so I don't do that. I'm stitching this, stitched it, I did finish it, on 36 count Maple Sugar by Lakeside, I think with the called for DMC. Stitched up quick. And it lives in this bag, or it lived. Freed up this bag. Yule game board. This pattern was shared with me by a wonderful stitchy friend. I've done the Christmas, no, I did the Halloween one. I can't think of what it was called right now. Halloween game board. I don't know, maybe. I'm stitching this on 40 count Sand Dune by Lakeside, and I did a conversion of colors. So I think I'm using some Victorian Motto and some Classic Colorworks and maybe Gast. This is its back. Okay. My alphabet start for the month of February. Alphabet Zoo by Blue Ribbon Designs. I am stitching this on 40 count Pearled Barley by Lakeside. Coming up very much redder than it actually is. I'm using Victorian Motto Red Velvet Maple, Vermont Red Maple. Just gonna make up words right now. Hoping that I'm gonna have enough. Look at this fabric for Alphabet Zoo. How perfect! And I love the coordination. And my last start for 222 for February was the 28th. I do a cross stitch start. 28 because that's the size needle I stitch with. Grounding Force by Heartstring Samplery. Stitching this on 36 count Barnwood. Yep, I picture this plus, I believe, with called for colors. Got my border in. Not usually a border stitcher. It's funny how I think different patterns like need to be stitched different ways, and so, you know, this one it was just kind of like, well, pattern or border first. And it lives in this bag. So those are my 222 starts. That got me up to start 36 for the year. So those are all the 222s that I'm going to show you. But like I did say, I had two premature 2023 starts. So the first one is Lucy Beam. Becky Noland is awesome. I reached out to her and asked her if she could design us a pattern for the 24-hour cross stitch group. And so we talked about some ideas and took, she really listened to like what my vision was for it, took some of our taglines and things like that. And she came up with this. My marathons run on X's. It's got the tomato, it's got the clocks that go to the 2 and the 4. It's perfect. So she offered this as a freebie for everybody that does 24 hours. It is posted in the 24-hour group. I cannot thank her enough. Broadway Stitcher did an amazing, she tweaked it and added like extra things that are 24 hours. She has midnight stitches written in glow in the dark thread. She has the clocks are pointing to X-Files themes. She made the tomatoes smaller and put the Be Kind Rewind, since we always do movie marathons for the marathon. It's awesome. It is so cool. So check out her Instagram for that, because it was an amazing customization of it. But this is how far I got on mine. I'm doing it with a conversion for colors. My mom is doing hers with the called for DMC that it was charted with. I'm stitching it. Oh, it's a different. I'm stitching it on the 36 count light brown sugar by Color and Cotton with just a conversion. I love it. Thank you, Becky. Perfect. Exactly what I was hoping for. And then also I wanted to just start something to show support and join in with others that were stitching things by Ukrainian designers, just because of the world climate and the, that right now. So I purchased a bunch of Stitchy Princess patterns on Etsy. This is the fox, and this is the one that I got started so far. I'm doing this on, I believe it's 36 count dove by weeks with the DMC. It lives in this little box bag, so I'm hoping to pull that back out. So those are all my new starts for the month. You think February has like the least amount of days, but it was actually a pretty packed start for me, with the extra day or one for the holiday and things like that. I did pull out a few other pieces that I worked on, so I will go ahead and show you progress on some other pieces that are moving. This one I had started in January. This is Circling Alphabets by Hester's Sister. I had picked this pattern up when I picked up Peacock Unicorn and a Badger, so it's coming along. Worked on that some. Also worked a little bit on my marathon start for January, which was my necessity. I'm about halfway through on this one now, I believe. I put some more stitches in on the Haunted Needle book by Stacy Nash. So I've got almost this one. This one's almost done. And then I've got the back piece for it as well. And then each month I try to highlight 2 of my whips that I had prior to 2022. I didn't for March because Madness I did completely just as it was. But I highlight one of my big ass projects, and then I also highlight like a large project that I'd like to get some time on. So I try to tie them into my acrostic, and my goal is 400 minutes on the big ass project and the 222 on the other one. So the one that I was working on for February was this, the It'll Be Okay by Birdhouse Stitchery. Let me not know my directions. It's like I've never filmed before. So I did get a bunch done on that. Again, I think I'm almost to about the halfway point with it. And then my big ass project that got some love was Life After Death. I roll when I stitch, those of you that are new, so it gets a little, I think I worked predominantly up here. I'm trying to get to the whale because I believe the whale I'm going to do in a different color, in some sort of gray. Everything else will be monochromatic about the piece and storm clouds, but I believe I'm going to be using a gray for the whale. So that was I was trying just to get there. So those are all the pieces that I worked on in February. And then my mom was absolutely amazing. And for my birthday, she went through and finished a whole bunch of things for me. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the things that she framed. This piece she started during the marathon, and it was her piece for me. You Make My Heart Happy by Heartstrings. She surprised me. I had no idea she was going to be doing it. So she finished it. She put my initials in and her initials over there. I absolutely love it, and the frame is perfect. She chalk painted an old frame. It's perfect. I love it. This one is not my stitching. Brandon actually stitched this piece. But we have a coffee bar in like 3 different locations in our house because he doesn't drink coffee. I drink coffee. But this is going to go downstairs because our downstairs is kind of like our gaming spot. So this is Star Fox Coffee. It's from a video game. I don't know what video game, but it looks like Starbucks. So he stitched it, and I love the frame for it. This is my happy place. I will be going back and probably just like tacky gluing some buttons on here. I love this. And I think the red frame was perfect because it really picks up the red and the X's and this tool. So got a frame of my Riley Harbor. That whale. I love that whale. Love, love, love. This one, this is May I by All Through the Night. I did change it. It was originally charted to say garden. I don't garden. I kill things that grow on the ground. So I changed it to stash instead. And I love it. It's perfect. This is an oldie frame. This is the red and the black. The first one, I think. I've done both of them. It's upside down. This is the right way. Red and the black, I did change the colors to be green and the black. The other one I have orange and black done. I think I have more things to show you guys. But it'll wait till next time I film. How perfect is this frame for Emily's house? How perfect. Oh, love it. So these will be going up either in here or around my house, but I have a bunch of plans for things that are going to be hanging in my space. My mom also, I can't reach, short arm problems. She finished a bunch of pillows for me. So this is Need Has Nothing to Do with It. This was inspired by Kyle. I was drinking one night. I don't know what I was doing, but he somehow convinced me that I should start something. So I did. So everything was like, I was drinking wine. It was a wine related start. So I decided that like all the colors I tried to, like, that's dark chocolate and this is Merlot. I tried to have the things that would pair with wine, and then the backing fabric is my wine stains. Love it when things have little stories. Lemon Cat by Barbara Anna. Amy had started this one as the Sour Plus Sal, and I was like, that's just, you can't, when there's a hashtag like that, you can't not. Look at those glasses. Cat eyes. And Coffee is a Cup of Bliss by Homespun Elegance. And with this is the fabric on the back. And she finished all of the Prairie Schooler Santas. So I'm going to show you, I think I've showed you all of them stitched. I don't think you've seen hers. When we started the Prairie Schooler Santas, July, one of our marathons, 2020, I believe, we started all the Santas, and I started all the odd years. She started all the even years. And so all are done except for one, and it's her. I finished all of mine. Like that to be known, because she was definitely beating me for the majority of the time. We're not competitive in the least. So what I did was I pulled them all out. I had this idea that I wanted them done. How cool is this little container? My mom gave that to me. I wanted it done so that they would be pillows. Originally we were going to do them for a Christmas tree, but I don't really decorate my tree because the cats climb it. So we put a tree up, but that's about the extent of it, and it has lights on it, but that's really as far as it goes. So, let's see which one. So I have these all in order for which year they are, and I'm going to go ahead and show them to you and show you. I decided that they should have fabric that coordinated with the piece on the back. And my mom, I don't think really thought that would be a good idea. I think she was like, sure, Jen, And then we started doing it, and she was like, oh, this works. So it sounded like she isn't supportive of me. The absolute opposite of everything that is the intention. She goes with my whims in a way that no one should. So, yeah, I think she thought it would be too busy, but I really am happy with how they turned out. So this is the 1984 Santa, so it was an even year, so my mom stitched it, and this is the fabric that we chose for the back of it. And I think just because they're so like concise and simple, having them displayed in a thing like this, I think having the fabric that match, I don't know, this is how I'll display them when I actually have them out, but this is how they're displayed currently, because I could put them in order. So, you can't really see much of the stitching, so I wouldn't do this. But having them like in a dough bowl or whatever it is around, that's why. I don't know. I just like I like the fabrics on the back. 1984, 85. There's a Christmas fabric on the back. 86. The doves. 87. He's traveling, so it's a little town. 88. Got the red and coordinated. 89. 90. I love this one. It's got the little woodland creatures on the back. This one. We weren't sure what fabric to do for this one, so it was actually a complete fluke that this happened. And it was like a random statement that... So my mom and I are both doing Berry Bowl by, was it Heartstrings and Scarlet House? So we're each doing a side. And she surprised me and made coordinating project bags for us so that... one of the bags is this outside with this inside, and the other one was this outside with this inside. So since it was the berry bowl up here, I was like, oh, we should tie in the fabric we're doing for that piece, and that's why the backing is that. I really like stories and having, again, the connection piece. Like, is that not perfect? Perfect! What year are we at? I don't know. We put the dates in. We tried to, not the year that we stitched them, but the date of the Santa. So this is 92. They're all different spots. So like they're all kind of hidden. Some of them are easier to see than others. I don't know where this one is. I could sit here and look for it for a while, but then I'm not talking and I probably shouldn't. So I'm not sure where that one is. It should be 93 though. I love them, I love them, I love them. 94. The sunflowers. 95. I love this on the dark. And then the fabric on the back. Perfect. Exactly what I was hoping they would turn out to be. We decided not. I usually like the shelled walnuts, but because we knew we wanted these to stand, sometimes the shelled walnuts, like those are better if you're just gonna plop them. But she stuffed these with like fill. $97 with the alphabet on the back because he's got the alphabet blocks. I love it. Noah's Ark. The Noah's fabric. Got 99. The gingerbread. And most of these fabrics we had. There might have been one or two that she bought special for it, but most of them were ones that she had for project bags. The different hollies and trees and stuff on them. What year is this? 2001. Pear tree, so it's the pear. Love this fabric. Patriotic. The stars. The stockings. With little stocking things. It was like sock monkeys. Little, I love how these turned out. The kind of Quakery. So this is 2006. The scissors. And look it's mittens that like. I love how these, I really am very, very happy with how these turned out. 2008. For sledding. This one is my favorite. I did change this one to be the Flyers colors, and we've got Gritty popping out of the top of the bag in the back. My mom helped me rechart him. And then the Gritty fabric. That is what Gritty looks like. He is the Flyers mascot. And is amazingly awesome. I don't know what year we're up to. I always stop on one that it isn't easy to find the year on it. They're probably mine where I didn't actually stitch the year on it or something. Oh no, I see it. Maybe 11. The Cardinals. No, that one wasn't mine. That was hers. Oh no, it was because she is still working on 2012s. So this jumped to 2013. The clocks. The songs. That's the background. I love this one. Oh, the reindeer on the back. With the compass. Points. And snowmen. 2 more. And it's got the piece on the back. And then we've got this one, the bunnies. And we've got the bunnies on the back. Isn't it amazing? I'm so happy with how these turned out, and I can't believe I have like the full set of the Prairie Schooler Santas. I am starting, as one of my starts this year, I'll be starting the 2021 one, and then I think we'll probably stick to the odd and even years if they keep releasing them, so that will be happening. A couple other like amazing birthday things that I just have out here. I was gifted this. This was by Ariel. Messaged me and asked to send me something, and I love it, and I love having it out in my craft room and the pieces, so thank you so much. I also had Grace Notes Fabric reached out and asked if they could send me some fabric or a piece of fabric for my birthday. I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. And then I haven't even been able to take any pictures of it because it's been, oh, and then I don't have, where's the piece they gave me? I'll be right back. And I'm back. And they sent me this amazing piece. It's like a purplish lilac-y color, lavendery. It is so pretty. And it is 40 count. It's a fat quarter, so I can't wait to like bring something in with this. Thank you so much. You need to check them out because they're on Facebook. So then I went on and decided I would pick some more up. So I actually picked up 3 more fat quarters to try. So this is Philip. This is like, the gray is beautiful and it's like a beautiful modeling. Philip. This one is a 36 count. And then I picked up Bradley. This one is also 36 count. How pretty. Like, and it's nice texture. It's nice fabric. So I'm very, very excited to stitch on that. And the last one I picked up to try is Paris. This is 40 count. So I'm so excited. So I love being exposed to new fabric dyers, especially since it's so hard to get things like Lakeside and things like that I've gotten so comfortable with. Also, welcome Stitchery. I can't give them enough shout outs. Like Justine from there is incredible. She offered to kit up 2 projects for me for my birthday when we were starting this whole thing. So she kit up the Bed Needlework Press and All Things Be Exceedingly Diligent for me, and I've started that one, and I have one more that I will be starting throughout the year. And she had a couple of flosses that were back ordered, and so she keeps sending them to me. She's like, oh, it came in finally. Garden Gate by Guest. So she thank you so much, Justine. Like, I'm again blown away by this community. I have some fabric that Cindy C sent over for my birthday as well. Like, I cannot thank you guys enough for letting me be a part of this community and stitch with you and everything that you bring to me. I just hit 13,000 subscribers or followers on Instagram. Like, holy crap. So I'm thinking of something that I can do to kind of give back there. I'm really hoping that with this new 4-day work week rolling out that I can make my Flosstube filming a little bit more consistent. I'm hoping to just take, a couple Fridays out of the month and know, like, I'm not, I'm able to just do that when I get up in the morning and do that. So that's my plan. Me and plans, they don't always go. See, it's weird because some of my plans are like, absolutely, I said I was going to do it like that, and that's how it's going to be. And then others, I'm just like, I think it's the filming thing that's hard for me. I don't show myself very often. Thank you for embracing me makeup free and messy hair and all of those things, to know that I can just be me when I come on this. It is nice. I do appreciate that. I have been buying all of the mugs because I've realized taking a picture every day, I'm trying to and coordinate them all. So I've had to figure out, and I'm getting like a little creative with mug storage now. So I think my pie tin cabinet that's right over here is going to be my mug storage. So I've gone a little crazy, but I realized like I didn't have any bird mugs, and my categories have to have coordinating things because connections. That is what my passion is. Not numbers, not that. I like to have a reason for why things are happening. I am like posing ideas for myself of how this is going to work for next year. I really don't feel overwhelmed yet. March was starting to get there, I think, with that start a day, and knowing that I wasn't like pulling any other pieces out was a little overwhelming to me. I think now, knowing that I've showed these things and I feel the freedom to actually stitch on them again, I believe that's going to help. But I have a whole bunch of like ideas of how I'm going to start to tackle these things for next year. But that's another day for another time. Like I said, I will be coming back and filming for March to show you guys all those starts for Madness. And I am plugging away with April. Like I said, I'm on start 75. So we're over getting there. 222, 75. I'm not doing the math because nobody wants to hear me talk that type of number. But yeah, so that's what's happening. Brandon has been amazing with helping me get everything ready and realizing and accommodating and being like, oh, she just brought 10 more mugs home and it's okay. So, and helping getting my house, our house, to where it needs to be. Do I have only child syndrome where I don't share very well? I'm sorry. He deals with me and my fairly well. You'll be seeing a lot of me during this month though, because next weekend is 24 hours of cross stitch. I was hoping to get off work, but I have some things that I can't do. I can't take off that Friday. So we will be just kind of going for it. And then one of my friends is prepping for surgery, so she is doing a liquid diet for the next week. And so I told her that in solidarity with her, I would do that. So we're not even going to have any food for next weekend. So I have no idea how we're going to go, but my fridge is stocked with protein shakes and it's going to be okay. So, that'll be good. And then I get to go to Philly and I get to take a long road trip and drive, and I'm excited about that. So I hope that you are all well. I hope that you are all finding your calm and taking time to recharge yourselves in this crazy world that we live in. And so, just do what you need to do. If it's stitching, stitch. If it's not, put the stitching down. So find something that gives you that calm. So keep making those X's, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.